welcome to class 2 in our Awaken Movement Community July group. So this is another beginner class. So again, you will need a mat, 2 blocks or books, and a bolster or pillow. So grab that stuff and we'll get started. Today we're going to begin in a nice child's pose. So what that means is you'll sit onto your shins, your hips onto your heels, and then your forehead onto the mat. We'll do a really narrow, crunched in child's pose to begin. So rest your forehead on the mat, and then extend your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. If this is too much crunching, flexion through your knees, you have the option to place a pillow or bolster in between your hips and heels, just for a little more space here, or a rolled up blanket is another good option. So find your child's pose, just a nice passive variation. Start to tune into your breath. Let the front of your shoulders soften towards the mat. Release any tension you're keeping in your low back. On an inhale, you'll feel your belly expand into the front of your thighs. On an exhale, you'll feel more space as your navel draws into your spine. Take 3 more breaths. Now we'll move into a just slightly different variation of child's pose. So keep your big toes to touch and widen your knees out to the edges of the mat. Now stretch your arms long in front of you. This is typically what you'll see more of with child's pose, but both options are really nice. Again, we'll start pretty relaxed, so let the arms just hang heavy into the mat. Feel the space between your kidneys soften and open on an inhale. Feel your chest melt towards the mat a little more on an exhale. Now stretch your fingertips out as far as you can. Stay active through your arms by lifting your elbows off the mat. Now hug your outer armpits down towards the mat and firm your inner forearms towards each other. So we're stretching through our lats here, an area that's really tight if you're active, if you're an athlete, if you do pull-ups, any type of motion like that. And then walk your hands over to the right. So your hips, your pelvis stays where it is. Make sure your left sit bone is rooting onto your heel. Just stretch your upper body over. Send breath space between each rib on the left side. Melt into the stretch. Good, now walk your hands over to the left. Root your right sit bone to your right heel. And feel the space between your right lat, your right ribs, your right obliques start to expand. Stretch a little further and root further down as well. I'm going to walk back to center. And then we're going to stretch forward into a puppy pose. So you lift your booty in the air, walk your hands forward as far as they'll go, and drop your chest to the mat. So your hips are stacked over your knees. If you want, you can rest your forehead down onto the mat or down onto a block. If you're really open for your shoulders, you can start to walk even further and touch your chin and chest to the mat. This is a lot more of an intense active variation, but one that really lets you open through the upper spine. And if you're a little more tight, take this nice first option to rest your forehead on the mat. 3 more breaths here. Keep your left hand where it is. Slide your right arm underneath your left armpit. We call this thread the needle. So you're resting on the outer side of your right shoulder and your right ear. And twisting open to the left. Hips are still stacked over knees. And an inhale lengthens your spine, and then an exhale twists you deeper. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Good. Extend your right fingertips long. Thread the needle, left arm underneath right armpit. Roll onto the outer left shoulder and left ear. Inhale, stretches the space between your spinal segments. And exhale, twist open to the right. If you have any pain in your knees with any of these weight-bearing poses, you can either place a blanket underneath them, or you can always roll your mat and double it or triple it, so it's a little bit more padded here. This is a nice option as well. Just if you have any pressure on your knees, that feels uncomfortable. Take one more breath in your puppy twisted pose. And then come back to center. Briefly sit your hips back onto your heels. On an inhale, we'll push through the tops of our feet to extend our hips forwards and arms overhead. And exhale, lower back down, arms by your side. Inhale, arms overhead, extend your hips forward. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels. Option to place a bolster underneath your hips if you can't quite reach. But let's do this motion about 10 times. Really using the breath to open up through our chest. If you stretch your fingertips really high, you might feel a nice little crack in your spine. Feel free to let the ribs flare out on an inhale so you can really get that lateral expansion of your lungs. And then draw navel to spine, bring the ribs back to center on an exhale. Let's do 3 more. Take out the bolster if you don't need it. Last one, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, back down. Now we're gonna take a foot stretch. So this time you'll tuck your toes underneath you. So you're kind of resting on the pads and the balls of your feet. Start here. Start with this nice straight posture. If you're able, start to lean back into the stretch and lower your hips to your heels. So most people are one of 2 ways. This is really intense for 2 reasons. Either we're pretty sedentary and we don't even walk that much or stretch our feet ever, or we're on our feet all day and they're tired. So either they're tight or they're tired. Either way, this is good form. Tune back into your breath. On an inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. On an exhale, drop them by your side. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, big release. One more like that. Good. Lean forward, untuck your toes gently, just kind of tap them on the mat. Give them a break. And then if you're comfortable with that, you can stay on your toes. You can stay like this, or you can sit on a bolster. We're going to do some cat-cow here in this kneeling position. So we talked about that in our first class. You're going to place your hands face down on your thighs. On an inhale, slide them up towards your hip creases. As you reach your chest forward, your shoulders back. Drop your head back if that's comfortable. On an exhale, slide your hands down your thighs as you round through your spine and tuck your nose to your navel. Inhale, cow pose. Untuck the tailbone, arch through the spine. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck the tailbone, round the spine. Inhale, slide your hands up your thighs. Puff your chest forwards and up. Exhale, slide your hands down your thighs. Create a nice concave shape. Let's do 3 more in each direction with your own breath. Inhales always expand us. Exhales always bring us in closer. Last one here. Big inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Good. Arms overhead, we'll take an active twist. So inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, bring your right hand back, your left hand forward, twist open to the right. You might not get very far. You might get right around here, and that's okay. As you get stronger and more active and flexible, you'll be able to twist more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist open to the left. Right hand goes forward. So we're engaging these rotational muscles in our upper back that you might not ever use, so be patient with yourself. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. Back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Right arm forward. Inhale, arms overhead. We'll do one more in each direction. Exhale, twist open to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist open to the left. If you haven't been using a bolster, go ahead and place it under your hips for now, just because it gives us something to reach for, or have a block on either side. So I'll show it with both, so why not? So place your box on the side of your bolster. Inhale, reach your left, or let's do right arm to the sky. Exhale, place your left hand on that bolster or block and reach over to the left. Inhale, stay, peel the right shoulder open just like we did in that first class. Exhale, reach the right fingertips a little further as you ground your right sit bone down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right hand to block or bolster, left fingertips overhead, left bicep framing your ear. Inhale, peel the left shoulder open. Exhale, twist or side bend a little deeper. Inhale, arms overhead, back through center. Stretch it higher. Exhale, left hand down, right arm over. Inhale, stay, expand. Exhale, reach further. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right hand down, left hand over. Inhale, peel your left shoulder, look up to the sky. Exhale, side bend deeper. One more of that sequence with your own breath, with your own time. Start to tune into what Breath brings what motion? I'll get you started. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, side bend to the left. And then go for it with your own breath. Inhale, back to center whenever you're ready, arms overhead. Exhale, down by your side. We'll do just a brief wrist stretch today. If you feel like you want more warm up, go ahead and do what you did in the first class as well. But let's interlace all 10 fingers and just create a nice figure 8 shape. Circling them side to side, and then switch directions. Switch to the first direction again. And then back the second way. Just a little baby warm up for your wrists. And then press your hands inside out and press them forward. All right, remove your props. Come into tabletop pose, stacking your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. So from here, we're gonna work towards balancing table, but we'll do a little calf stretch first. So widen your fingers, spread them out and lower them down. Root through all 10 knuckles. And then balance on the top of your left foot as you stretch your right leg long behind you. We're extending through our knees and pressing the right heel back. Feeling a nice calf stretch here. If you want, you can rock forwards and backwards or stay in a nice still shape. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next inhale, stay strong through your right palm as you extend your left hand in front of you. So we're balancing on right hand, left knee, left foot, and right toes. Keep your spine nice and straight. Don't let it sway to the side. Don't let it sag in the middle. Keep it nice and straight. Pretend you had a cup of water and you don't want it to spill. Reaching in opposite directions through your left fingertips and right heel. Good, and then bring everything back to tabletop, all fours. Take one cat-cow, inhale, arch. Exhale, round. On your next inhale, reaffirm your grip through the mat and stretch your left leg long. Pressing through your left heel, stretching through your left calf. Again, take some rocking motions, if that feels nice, or sustain your stretch. Breathe in, nice and deep, and breathe out. Extend your right fingertips long on your next inhale. And exhale, stay, draw navel to spine. Inhale, reach everything a little further, stay balanced, stay steady. And exhale, stay. One more breath. Good, exhale, bring everything back to tabletop pose. We're gonna do balancing table now, so it's a little more difficult. If you need, stay with that first variation, more points of contact on the mat. But if you're ready, you're gonna extend your right leg straight behind you. So press your heel into that wall, energetically, not actually. And if that feels okay, you're gonna reach your left fingertips forwards. A little bit tougher on the balance without that right foot to support you on the mat. Press strong through your right palm. Engage the back of your right glute and hamstring to lift your leg to parallel. Inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, back to tabletop, and we'll do the other side. Take a quick cat-cow. Inhale, arch through your spine. And exhale, around. Spread your fingers wide, firm through your knuckles. Inhale, reach your left leg straight back behind you. really flexing through your ankle, lifting your heel up to the sky behind you. On your next inhale, extend your right fingertips in front of you. Good job. Stay steady through your spine. Draw your navel in. Engage your core. Inhale, reach a little further. And exhale, back to tabletop. Take a little sway of your hips from side to side, kind of like you're looking over your shoulder at your booty. A couple more times. And then make your way to the top of your mat. So whether you want to press into down dog and then walk the feet forward, or you just want to stand up, do whatever feels good. Find your way into a forward fold. Just like we did in our first class, take as much bend in the knee as you need. And we'll hold on to opposite elbows and let them drop heavy. So kind of rest your belly onto your thighs. Release any tension in your traps or shoulders. Do a bit of some active engagement here. So press through your palms. Nice bend in your knees, nice hinge in your hips. On an inhale, reach your arms forward so your spine is parallel. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the elbow tips forwards. Crown of the head reaching in the opposite direction of your sit bones. Exhale, fold. 3 more like that. Exhale, fold, and last one. Inhale, extend your spine straight, parallel to the mat. Exhale, fold. Just working into those low back muscles, and then slowly stack your spine so you come to a nice standing position. Now bring your feet hip width apart. We're going to move into Utkatasana, which is chair pose. So you'll bend at your knees, sit your hips back over your heels, and then extend your arms overhead. Your biceps are framing your ears, your palms are facing in towards each other. There's a few variations of chair that you can do. You can have a nice upright posture and less bend in your legs, arms straight overhead, or you can sweep your fingertips down on the mat, then rise them up, come to this angle that you find yourself. You'll have more of a diagonal angle at your trunk and a lot more flexion through your hips and knees. So find what variation of chair pose suits you. And we'll take 5 breaths. So again, try to have the knees stacking over the toes, not much further. Most of the weight is back in your heels. From your biceps and your inner thighs towards each other. Inhale, extend long through your crown of your head and fingertips. Exhale, sit a little deeper. 2 more breaths. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good, come to stand on your inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, hands at heart center. Release them down. I know that one burns. So next we're gonna move into a little vinyasa like we did in the first class. We'll spend several breaths the first time through, and then the next few rounds we'll do 1 breath per movement. So our inhale, we'll sit back into chair pose. On an exhale, we'll take a chair twist. So meet your hands in prayer position here. Sit your hips down, and then twist so that your left elbow hooks on the outside of your right knee. Twisting open to the right. Now take a peek at your feet, at your knees. It's the tendency for us to shift our right sit bone back and our left knee forwards. So let's work on evening those out. So every once in a while, just peek down at your knees. Press your palms into each other. Press your left elbow into your knee to twist a little deeper. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forwards. Exhale, draw navel to spine. Your next inhale brings you to standing, arms overhead. And your exhale, we're gonna step out into warrior two. So keep your left foot where it is. Step your right foot back at an angle of 90 degrees. So the outside blade edge of your foot is parallel to the very back edge of your mat. Your left knee is stacking over your left ankle. Your hips are opening up to the right. Your chest is opening to the right. Gaze is in front of you, fingertips are stretched long. This is warrior two. Take a peek at your left knee, make sure it's not collapsing in. Stack your spine above your pelvis, your neck, your head above your spine. Good. And then our next exhale is going to be reverse warrior or exalted warrior. So your legs will stay exactly where they are. You'll slide your right hand down your right leg, and you'll reach your left arm overhead. Nice side body stretch. Take a couple breaths here. Good. And then we're going to straighten into our left leg. Stretch our left fingertips long, long, long. We're moving into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So left fingertips are long, and then you'll place them on the inside of your shin or on a block on the inside of your foot. So everyone's hip anatomy is different. Some people can just easily keep their alignment and touch the ground. Other people are all the way up here. That's okay. Do what your body needs. So you're opening up your chest to the side, right fingertips are reaching to the sky, both legs are straight with just a little micro bend in the knee to protect it. Slide that right shoulder blade down your back, open the chest a little more to the side. You want to keep length in both side waists. So don't just collapse into the left side waist. Try to have some nice extension through both sides. To do that, think about scooping your left sit bone underneath you, and that'll also increase the stretch on your inner left groin. Good. Your obliques will engage to raise you back up to reverse Trikonasana. So legs stay straight, left arm reaches overhead, right hand behind you. One more good full breath here. Exhale steps you all the way to the top of your mat. And we'll do the other side, a few breaths for each movement. So inhale, sit your hips back. Weight into your heels, arms overhead for chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands at heart center. Flex a little deeper, twist open to the left. Hook your right elbow on left knee. Slide that right knee back a little bit in space. Look up towards the sky. Press your palms into each other. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forwards. And exhale, twist a little deeper. Good, inhale, stands you, arms overhead. Exhale, step your left foot back, warrior two. Foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Hips are opening to the left. Right knee stacked over right ankle. Fingertips stretch long, gazes forwards. Nice hip opener, nice balance pose, nice strengthening pose for your quads. On your inhale, slide your left hand back down your leg, and your right bicep will frame your ear, exalted warrior. Breathe through the right obliques, the right rib space. Good, and then straighten into your right leg. Reach your right fingertips long in front of you. And then place them on the mat, on your shin, or on a block as you extend your left fingertips to the sky. Scoop your right sit bone under. Keep length through both side waists. And breathe. Remember, the breath guides the practice. So if you ever need to pause and recapture it, it's very important to do. On your next inhale, left obliques engage, lift you up to reverse Trikonasana. Slide your left hand down your leg. Right arm overhead. Good. And then step to the top of your mat. We'll do that a couple times on each side, just moving with our breath. So, keep any props nearby that you need, otherwise take them off to the side. Inhale, chair pose, arms overhead, sit back. Exhale, sit deeper, collect your hands in the center. Inhale, twist, open to the right. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, stand, arms overhead. Exhale, step your right foot back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, keep your legs where they are, left arm overhead. Exhale, straighten left leg, stretch left fingertips long. Inhale, Trikonasana, open the right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, engage your right obliques, rise up. Inhale, reverse triangle. Left arm back behind you. Exhale, stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands at heart center, sit deeper. Inhale, twist actively to the left. Exhale, hook your elbow, twist a little deeper. Inhale, arms overhead, stand up tall. Exhale, left foot back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come into triangle pose, stretch your fingertips long. Inhale, reach your left fingers to the sky. Exhale, engage your left oblique, stand up. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, come to stand at the top of your mat. We'll do that again. Take a little breather, shake everything out, and prepare for another round. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sit deeper, hands collect at heart center. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale, stand, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two, step your right foot back. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, straighten into your left knee, extend your left fingertips long. Inhale, left hand to left shin, right arm to the sky. Exhale, stand it up, keep your legs where they are. Inhale, reverse your triangle, left bicep framing the ear. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sit it deeper. Inhale, twist open to the left. Exhale, wring everything out. Inhale, stand, arms overhead. Exhale, left foot steps back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, straighten it to right leg, stretch your right fingertips long. Place it on the inside of your shin or block. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, engage your core, stand up. Inhale, reverse your triangle, reach back through the right hand. And exhale, come to stand at the top of your mat. We'll do that one more time. So again, just take a little shake out, whatever you need. It takes practice to be able to link breath with movement by keeping your breath calm throughout it. So come back and revisit this practice. The key is to stay calm and try to extend your breath so that you can really move into each pose and stay there for a little while. But it all comes with time. Last time here, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sit down, hands at heart center. Inhale, twist open to the right, hook the left elbow. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, stand, arms overhead. Exhale, step the right foot back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep your hips where they are. Right hand slides down. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Reach forward through your left fingertips. Inhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, twist to open to the left. Exhale, stay. Inhale, stand, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Step your left foot back, hips open to the left. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, prep for triangle. Reach your right fingertips. Inhale, left arm sweeps open to sky, triangle pose. Exhale, engage your left obliques. Inhale, reach right arm behind you, reverse triangle. Exhale, come to stand at the top of your mat. Take a nice deep breath, and exhale, release everything out. Wiggle a little, shake it out. We'll do one more balance pose, and then we'll start to cool down. So you stay facing the front of your mat. I'm gonna face you guys. We're gonna move into tree pose. So pick up your right toes, spread them out, land them back down. You wanna feel weight through your big toe, your pinky toe, your heel, a little bit of everything. So for tree pose, there's many different options. You can come into a kickstand where you're resting the inner seam of your left foot on the right ankle. If that feels okay, you can start to slide it up to the inner side of your calf. If that feels okay, you can start to slide it to the inner side of your thigh. It does help to have your hand bring it up there. The thing is, you don't want to be right at the knee joint and harmfully push out laterally, as that can over time damage some of your knee structure. Don't worry if you've done it before, I'm sure you're fine, but not something to do regularly. So find your tree pose variation. The sole of your left foot is resting somewhere on the inner seam of your right leg. Actively engage your left outer glute to pull your left knee down and out. Find a drishti, which means a focus point, a little bit in front of you or all the way in front of you. And then hands collect in a prayer position. Or hands out wide for balance, whatever you need. We'll take 3 more breaths in your tree pose. Crown of the head lifts high. Sole of the foot roots deep. So we're stretching in opposite directions. Take 1 more breath. Good, and pretend you're facing the front of your mat. From here, you're gonna step your left leg behind you, come into a runner's lunge. So you're on the ball of your left foot, your fingers are framing your right foot. If you need more space, bring a block on either side of your right foot. This is our runner's lunge. Pull your right sit bone back, your left hip bone forwards to even out the pelvis. Crown of the head and left heel are reaching in opposite directions. And then from here, we're gonna wiggle our right foot over. So we can heel toe it, which means you move your heel, then your toes, then your heel, then your toes. We're coming into pigeon pose. So if you know you're tight in the hips, let's go ahead and grab a bolster or a rolled up blanket or a pillow or even your block. Anything you can prop up underneath your right hip. So these blocks are really nice that we can use our arms to kind of get us in a good position. Now if you're really tight through your hips, I want you to point through your toes and bring your heel in close towards your body. So this is a nice gentle variation. Still have the option to place something to lift your right hip up. If you're a little more open through the hips, you can flex through your ankle and have your shin be more parallel to the front of your mat. So we'll inhale and find some length through our spine. Find an option where you don't automatically collapse. So have your prop resting on the underside and outside of your right thigh. If you start to open up a little bit, Feel free to remove whatever prop you've used. But it's definitely not a necessity. This is a tough pose. We'll take one more breath with this nice extended posture. And then on your next exhale, wherever you are, I want you to fold and drop heavy into this lovely stretch. If you're not using a prop under your hip, it feels awesome to bring it in front of your forehead and rest on it like this. I'm trying to give you guys a bunch of options so you can find what feels good. You need a little both. Keep the bolster there. Put a block underneath your right hip. Let your breath start to slow. And relax your shoulders from your ears. And take 3 more full breaths. Find your final relaxation. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Walk back up onto your hands. And then we're going to come to a standing position at the top of our mats again. Do whatever way feels good. If you want to step your right foot back to down dog and walk the feet up, that's a great way to do it. But you take your time. Coming to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten your spine. Exhale, fold. Stack your spine, roll it up one segment at a time. And we'll move into tree on the other side. So this time, spread your left toes wide, drop them onto the mat. Feel your heel rooting down into the mat as well. So close your eyes and actually feel these points of contact so you know you're stable and grounded. Now find what variation works with your right leg, whether that's this kickstand with your toes still on the mat or inching it up to the inner side of your calf or the inner side of your left thigh. Engage the right outer glute to bring your right knee out and wide. And find your focus point. Meet your hands at heart center and reach the crown of your head high. We'll take 3 more full breaths. It's normal to feel wobbles. It's normal to be a little bit shaky here. One more big inhale, reach your head high. And then on your exhale, you're gonna step your right leg back behind you for your runner's lunge. So balancing on the ball of your right foot, your hands are framing your left foot. Slide your left sit bone back, your right hip bone forwards. And stretch long between the crown of your head and the heel of the right foot. Now start to heel toe your left foot out to the right edge of the mat and come down for pigeon pose. So again, let's start with a nice bolster or pillow or blanket underneath the left leg this time. Okay. If you're more open, flex through your ankle and have your shin parallel. If you're a lot tighter, point through your toes and bring your shin in at an angle. Always options for everyone. So we'll take several breaths, just finding what feels good today with this nice extended upright posture. Blocks are under your hands for more space. Pigeon pose is one that can cause people to immediately just tense up, and then you're kind of defeating the purpose. You're not even moving into any type of stretch because you're trying too hard and your body is saying, no, I'm not ready for this. So if we're able to find a more gentle variation, we can soften into it more. Good, and then start to walk your hands out in front of you. Inhale, one more straightening of the spine. And exhale, fold and drop everything heavy. You can also use a block underneath your forehead here. We'll keep it this way for this round instead of switching bolster and block, but you do you. Let your body sink heavy. Release any final unnecessary muscular engagement right now. One more deep breath in. And releasing breath out. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Find a gentle way to come into seated position. Stretch your legs out long. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So if this feels like you're just hunching and crunching, place a block or a bolster underneath your sit bones to lift you up a little bit. We want to actively pull our kneecaps, our toes out to the side a little bit and straighten through the spine. So this is really a nice active stretch here. Take a few breaths to just stack your spine. And again, any fold that we do is going to come partially through our hips and our low back. We don't need to pull out a protractor or figure out exactly what's going on, but just know that we're moving into both. So one more breath in this active pose. And then exhale. Here's what I did. I stacked my block on its highest height and my bolster diagonally out across it. We're going to come into a nice forward fold. I like to interlace my fingers in front of the blocks. That way I can kind of relax everything. Let your mind stay here for just a few more moments. Don't let it think about what's next, what's waiting for you, or what happened an hour ago. You set this time aside for yourself, so make sure you commit to it. And let your body and mind sink into it. If you want, you can experiment with Ujjayi breath. So with that, we breathe in through our nose, close our lips. And you constrict your throat slightly. So you make this nice oceanic flowing breath sound by constricting your throat. So don't do it too extreme that you're hurting yourself, but you breathe out through your nose as well. In and out through your nose. Nice flowing ocean sounding breath. Let's inhale in for 3 seconds. Exhale out for 3 seconds. Inhale in for 3 seconds. Exhale out for 4 seconds. Inhale in for 3 seconds. Exhale out for 5 seconds through your nose. Inhale in for 3 seconds. Exhale out for 6 seconds. One more just like that. Inhaling in for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling out for 6, so hold it twice as long. Good, back to normal breathing. One final deep breath in. Final releasing breath out. Now, if you have the time, please feel free to release into Shavasana, laying on your back with your arms by your side and your legs stretched long. Otherwise, we're going to come into a cross-legged position. Hands on our knees. One big inhale. And one exhale all together. Hands at heart center. Namaste. All right, that was class number 2 for this July beginner group of Awakened Movement. I hope you loved it. If you're enjoying Awakened Movement, please share it with your friends, have them join in on the fun. If you ever have any questions, I'm here for you. Just send me a message, an email, or a comment down below. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.